they still have human rights, don't they? That's on the one hand, but at the same time, they have committed atrocities that is inexcusable under any guise whatsoever. Should we even be talking about amnesty for people who have been declared and categorized as not just criminals but terrorists? Should we even be mentioning their name or their title and mentioning the word amnesty?
You see, it's quite interesting because we cannot leave leprosy and continue to seek medication for headache. And that has been the problem all the while. Like I think people have said earlier on, denial encourages the perpetrators. 1, 2, on the issue of who is a terrorist and who is not. You see, there are times the environment, the state themselves encourages and even empowers some of these characters. We have the case of a senator that was arrested in relation to the issue of Boko Haram. The week that follows, a court in this country said his traveling document be returned to him to travel out for medical treatment. Now we have another politician in Kaduna whose house was raided by the army, and the discovery was terrible. Now, they are doing this because they know that they are going to receive a pat in the back, at the most, just a slap in the hand. You see, and on the issue of civil rights, sir, your right stops where mine begins. If you think you have a right to kill, I have a right to live. So and you see, it becomes now very important because there is a contention now. It becomes important that the state should play its role by insisting that the right thing should be done, which is you cannot just snuff life out of people. You cannot just package people and keep them away and start collecting money. The state is not doing that. Their own side. Look, it is very, very unfortunate that in Lagos State, before they used to think Lagos is a very rowdy state, it's a state that is uncontrollable and not the rest of them. But do you know that since the advent of Faceless administration in the first time, there are some telephone numbers that were displayed to the whole world. And you know, even an Agbos hawker has the phone number.
767.
Yeah. And they call. And they get reaction. These days now, I don't know what happens. There are some problems. But those days, they get immediate reaction. It emboldens the people to give information. Because you see, you cannot combat crime without proper information. And information that are genuinely given, not induced information. Because if you know you are being paid, you will want to work for your pay. That is why you have officials now coming up with bogus reports, and that is what boils down to the fact of denial. Because they want to justify the budget of their office. But an ordinary citizen Joe who knows the state will voluntarily tell you on the ground that you do not expose them. Some of us, we attribute the success of the Lagos own to the fact that they don't want to know your name. So nobody gets to start telling you that you are the one that went to expose them. So basically the state, in fact, the various security apparatus should wake up. Honestly.
Are you implying that they are sleeping at the moment?
Yes, they are sleeping. You see, my brother, it is not about curbing crime. It's about nipping it in the bud. What is the point that they bombed the place and you arrested 20? What is the big deal? Will you replace the lives that are lost?
Is what you're talking about. Prevent the bombing.
Yes. So, I mean, what is the job of intelligence gathering, sir? If you cannot pick them before sorting it out, after it must have been sorted out, and you can't sort it out because it involves lives, it involves properties. You understand what I'm saying?
Very quickly, though, I still want to hear your view as a civil rights activist on the issue of amnesty and Boko Haram. Should it be mentioned in the same breath at all?
You see, the issue of amnesty, what did they call their grounds? The grounds with which they place on the table is that of self-determination. And to me, I and my tendency believe let's come together and discuss. Call it subnational conference, call it whatever. That is the only amnesty they deserve. That look, come out, let us discuss. How do you want it? If they say they want Sharia in the whole of the northern states, so be it, let them have it, and let's have peace. Right? So if you, yes, because, I mean, it's part of the UN declaration that you have a right to self-determination. So we cannot deny them that, but they too cannot deny us life. So basically, when you're talking of amnesty, amnesty in what context? Coming up with a roll call and start handing out something to them at the end of the month, is that amnesty? Taking some to go and learn bricklayer and carpenter and everything and bringing them back to the society, is that amnesty? In what way would that solve the problem we are talking about? If they say what they want is self-determination, good. It's enshrined in UN Charter, it's enshrined in Nigerian Constitution. Let them benefit from that which they ask. But we must all agree to sit down and talk. So also the part of Nigeria where I come from too, we've been agitating for a sovereign national conference, so that we're able to place on the table what we want from the Nigerian state. Okay? So it is not that the issue of amnesty, in what context? Please, anytime they ask you, ask them in what context?
Okay.
Amnesty to
maybe
what?
Honor then
Yes.
can look
About the president saying no amnesty for Boko Haram. I want your comments on that, please.
Well, I think the president is spot on that. He gave his reasons. He didn't just say no amnesty. He said because we don't know what the issues are. We don't know who the perpetrators are. They've not come forward with any menu of grouses, so that we know how to address them. Now, remember, the president is speaking as the leader of our nation, and as the chief security officer, as the chief, exactly. So he has to look at what is it that's going to work in terms of reducing this carnage that we are seeing. And I have said several times, their hands are dripping with blood, and we can't be talking about amnesty when we've not stopped the killing. Let us first stop the killing. We must stop the killing. That must stop, and then we now come to the table if there's a table. But the problem is they have bombed the table along with the thing, so there's no table left. But anyhow, having said that, the president also said in Maiduguri yesterday, he said that he wants the leaders of that state to convince the BH insurgents, to lay down arms, and then the federal government will address, because they had a wish list for the president, like removal of the JTF from the streets and demilitarizing the area and so on and so forth. So he's like, well, you know what? I will look into all of that, but first we must just what I was saying, let the killing stop. You go and talk to whoever. If you know them, talk to them, because right now we at the federal level, we in Abuja doesn't know who BH is. There's no face to it. We only know that there's Abu Shakau, who is issuing these deadly orders, and he's not talking to us, and he's issuing threats. He has said that he wants to Sharialize. My brother has said that they want Sharia in the north. No, BH says they want Sharia in the whole of Nigeria now. They've extended their mandate beyond. So I mean, are we going to accede to that? I mean, that's the they want a theocracy here. They want some kind of a religious spiritual leader to run the government, and they want. Well, of course, they said they want whoever killed Sheikh Yusuf Mohammed to be punished, and so on and so forth. I mean, there's a wish list out there, but everything on that wish list is, it's a non-starter. I don't think the issue of amnesty, I think the president is spot on in saying that we don't even have a basis yet for discussion.
You actually just mentioned something that is quite interesting. You said that we don't know who they are.
Yes.
But at the same time, not too long ago, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did say that we know who Boko Haram are. There are some of them in my government. And there are people who have said that they are in politics.
What he meant by that is that we know who they are. Like my brother said just like, he spoke about a senator who was implicated as giving information to BH operatives. Now, what he meant was that they are everywhere. That's their sympathizers, their financiers, and so on. But then, beyond just the shores of Nigeria, just to stretch that logic, you also have BH guys.